Hello, good morning and welcome to the third Gatehouse Theatre Podcast. I'm Keith Harrison, the marketing manager, and I'm joined by the lovely Lou Broom.
Woohoo!
What a woohoo that was as well. We've made it back, mate.
We have, yeah. Thanks for having me back.
Well, it's not having you back. You're part of it. I'm relying on you to be the expert in this, right? But you won't believe what happened. You know this lurgy that's been going around the town? I got it, right? Didn't I have it really
You've been
bad?
really ill, yeah.
I was like a bear with a sore head. It was a nightmare, right? But worse than that, I lost my voice. Can you imagine? That's like Superman losing his superpower. It was that bad. And, you know, I'm amazed that we managed to get through it. But anyway, January.
Yeah.
That was long and awful. Wasn't
Very
it?
long.
Payday was the last day of January. And I have to say, we put out the what's coming on in February, payday email at the end of Jan. On payday, on the last day, January 31st, we had to go all the way through the month to get there. And sales just went da-da-da-da, whoosh, like that, because people are obviously waiting. Because you were skint, weren't you?
Yeah.
Because some people get paid early before Christmas.
Yeah, and it's a long wait
And
till...
you've got to wait like 5 weeks, and you've got all the money you had to spend at Christmas. So, yeah, it's been a bit of a nightmare. But we're here. February. Love is in the air.
It is.
Is it?
It's my birthday as well next week.
Wow, double celebration.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that's good. So stick with us. We've got loads of stuff coming up. We've got some really big summer school news for you today. So we're thinking of summer already. The thing about these things is, and Lou, bear me out on this, you think you've got ages before summer and the Shakespeare and all that. You haven't, have you?
No.
People are booking summer holidays now.
Yeah.
And then you start counting down. You think, it's like 12, 13 weeks away. That's how soon it is. And at the Gatehouse, what happens is, we tend to go from big projects. So we go from pantomime to Shakespeare to pantomime. And this year they're all overlapping because I'm pretty sure that with this year's Shakespeare, we're going to be announcing what next year's Shakespeare is. So that's going to go on sale. Sleeping Beauty is on sale.
That's already
and then
on.
we're going to have the following year's pantomime. That's going to be on sale as well. So, yeah, it's all going to be crazy busy, but that's just the way we like it. So, yeah, it's been a busy start to the year. We've had some big names, haven't we?
We have, yeah. It's been great. It's been busy.
Who's been your favourite?
Oh, there's a question.
That is a question.
I don't know. I haven't got a favourite. We've had loads of different people, all different styles of shows. It's just been fun. Last night, Motown was fantastic.
Oh, I love a bit of Motown.
The audience loved it. The group that we had in were just so lovely and nice, and the music was fantastic. So it was great show. So I really enjoyed that.
We've got some great sort of Motown. We've got a George Benson tribute. I love a bit of George. George Benson tribute coming up. We've got Lost in Music coming back on. Well, I'll tell you what else we've got. It's not quite, but it's in a similar ballpark. A couple of Northern Soul shows. Now, you might tell I'm from the North. So, yeah, this is a big thing for us, isn't it, to have those Northern... And they always sell out incredibly well. Neil Diamond... At the Neil Diamond show, do you know how old the actual Neil Diamond is?
In his 70s?
84.
Is he? Wow.
Neil Diamond is 84. I'm a massive fan. Seen him 3 times. But yeah, there was a picture of him the other day. Look, he can't tour anymore now because he's ill.
Yeah.
But he looked amazing for 84. I hope I look like that when I'm 84. But yeah, Neil Diamond, he was amazing. That was another good show. We had Joe Thomas from The In-Betweeners.
He was lovely.
He was lovely. He was just like Simon off The In-Betweeners. He's off stage. He was a bit late, but he was like, came in, he went, oh, sorry. And all the rest of it, he was exactly the same as he was. And I get the impression that there wasn't a lot of acting going on when he was in The In-Betweeners. He was basically Simon Joe Thomas from The In-Betweeners. So that was all good. And we've had another busy start in terms of what's coming up as well. Caleb Cooper.
Yeah, that's a big one that's just gone on sale.
Do you watch Clarkson's Farm?
I don't watch it avidly, but I do watch bits with my brother. My brother loves it, so he's already bought tickets. He can't wait.
I've never seen it. Who is this guy?
He's kind of, I'd say, Jeremy Clarkson's right-hand man. Very funny, got a really dry sense of humour, winds Jeremy Clarkson up.
Oh, it sounds like you and me.
Yeah, exactly. He kind of runs the farm almost.
Oh, definitely you and me.
Yeah.
Well, he sold out in a day.
Yeah.
He sold out. We put him on sale at like 10:30 in the morning, and then by 10 o'clock that night, we had like 8 tickets left, and I think obviously they've all gone now.
Yeah.
So that's really good. Chris McCausland, he's got a new show on Netflix, hasn't he? Have you seen that?
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet, but it's one of my to watch when I get a day off.
That's
Not
great.
that we get days off or
No,
anything.
get days off. But He's doing this thing. He's got 2 nights. They've both sold out, haven't they, later in the year?
Well, he won Strictly, didn't he? Which I did predict he was going to win from the first episode. I'm a huge Strictly fan. So I knew he was going to win from the first one.
Yeah.
I told you, I kept saying to you. Kept saying to you, he'll win. And he won.
Yeah. So we've got Chris McCausland.
Yeah.
Also, other big names we've got coming up. Aled Jones. Still singing. Still looks like a choir boy, even though he's in his,
I wouldn't go that far.
40s.
He's 50s. Older than that.
He's on Classic FM now, isn't he? We put a trailer out from there. I didn't realise he was on Classic FM.
Yeah.
He's on Shawaddy Waddy.
They're great.
There's a blast from the past for me. They were my 70s childhood, Shawaddy Waddy. And they sold out last time they came. Great show. Fantastic show. And Lee Mead.
I love Lee Mead. I saw him in Wicked. He's brilliant. I think he's great.
Do you watch Motherland?
No.
All right, if you watch Motherland, it's on Netflix now. It was on BBC. Right, it's fantastic. It's a great show. Highly recommend Motherland. But he's in it. He makes like a cameo appearance in it. And you've got to go, but if you see it, you can never say the words Lee Mead without saying Lee Mead. Anybody watching this now is thinking, what the hell is he on about? But if you watch the show, you'll know. Anyway, Lou, how are you coping on the bars?
Yeah, it's been good. They've been up and down, I suppose, January. Some people like to still have a drink. Some people, obviously, dry January, it's fine. Oh, yeah. We've got a few non-alcoholic beers to cover people, a nice non-alcoholic gin. So we've got a bit of everything for everyone.
I pulled this face, because the other week I actually had some non-alcoholic beer, and it was pretty nice. It was like Moretti, and it was really nice. You could barely tell the difference. It was really nice.
We don't do that.
So it wasn't here. It was just at home, all right? Got it at Asda. Anyway, so I thought, well, that's all right. We'll have a go with that. So we thought we'll go for some non-alcoholic wine.
Oh, no.
Big mistake.
No.
Huge. It was absolutely vile. It was like sticky, thick Ribena.
Yeah, we don't. I can't find a nice wine. Or you can get a couple of nice no seccos.
Oh yeah.
But we can't get them at the moment. But we're looking into that. But the wines just don't seem to cut it. Whereas the beers and the Guinness Zero we do, everybody raves about how much that tastes like actual Guinness. There's a UK-wide shortage of Guinness at the moment, so we still can't get that.
That'll be my son.
But we've got the Guinness Zero, so people do enjoy that one.
Wow.
As an alternative.
Yeah.
And the beers, we do Erdinger and San Miguel Zero, which again people like.
Excellent.
They seem to go. And we've got a non-alcoholic cider, which is the Old Moot flavoured one, which again people say tastes like the real thing.
Old Moot. Is that what it said? Old Moot.
Old Moot, yeah.
Is that what it says on those things? I never knew that. I always wondered what.
Old Moot cider.
Oh, right.
Or I think some people say Mout. I'm pretty sure it's Moot.
It's a moot point.
I stand corrected, but I think it's Moot.
You got any offers on the go?
We've got a few in the coffee shop with the coffee and cakes. Nothing on anything of an evening yet, but watch this space for Valentine's.
Oh, now that's a nice segue into our next section. Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've got the lovely dementia screening afternoon film, 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
4 Weddings and a Funeral.
So, obviously, we're going to try and theme it with some Valentine's-inspired cakes, and you might get yourself a little chocolate treat as well for Valentine's if you come along.
Valentine's-inspired cakes?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Well,
I don't care. I'm going to have them anyway.
We've got some nice red velvet cakes
right,
and some cream ones just to kind of make it just look a bit more themed.
A bit more lovely.
Yeah.
A bit of romance in
Yeah,
there.
it's not, see, someone who's single, I hate Valentine's Day. But I think Valentine's Day,
Hey, you never know. Come the day.
Yeah, emailing. But it's not, I think of it as more for like friends. So sometimes I'll send my friends flowers if they've been having a tough time. And it's about friendship as much as love for me. So it's loving your friends as well. So it doesn't have to be a romantic thing, I don't think.
That's nice. I might send you some flowers now. But I said might, so as if
Yeah,
you turn
so I
up, you
won't.
don't know if it's
See, if he says it on the podcast, you can hold him to this. I'll let you know on the next one if I get my flowers.
If you don't.
Yeah.
If you get flowers, I'm going to say, yeah, that was me.
My birthday's the day before, so I'd
double.
rather have stuff. I normally get presents for birthdays anyway, so Valentine's is fine.
Nice.
But it's about friendship as much as it is romance, I think. And then we've got the glam rock show to celebrate love.
Yeah, I was just going to say, on the night, what could say romance and love more than the glam rock show? Bit of Susie Quattro, bit of Sweet, bit of Slade. We love it. They might do some Shoe Waddy as well in that. You never know.
You never know.
Bit of Bowie's in
Yeah.
there, bit of Iggy Pop. Who else was in the glam rock era? You must know you weren't around. I was
I
around.
was born in the 70s.
Well, what I do know is this, that the lead singer of that glam rock show is Brian Connolly Jr., right? And his dad was the lead singer in Sweet. Blockbuster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the like massive hits that they had, and he's in it. So it's a fantastic show. I mean, the glam rock show. If you're of that era, it's a brilliant show, and it's a big production as well. So it's done by Entertainers, one of the best touring production companies that comes around, and so you know that the production is going to be great. It's going to be a live band. It's going to be full of all the records that you know. Because we were looking at it going, what do they play? And we looked at the playlist and it was like, oh, we know that one. We know that one. Know that one. They're all in there. So I think that's going to be a great night, the Glam Rock show.
And it's a nice date night if you're into that. Yeah. And then look out for Rosé Prosecco. There'll be an offer on that. It's nice, Rosé Prosecco.
Red velvet cake.
See, we're all about the love.
Yeah.
Love for all.
So, Lou, the big one coming up in the summer, and it's going really well. Hamlet, Shakespeare. How much are you looking forward to this?
Oh, I can't wait. It's one of my favourite Shakespeare plays anyway, and just with Benedict and speaking to Richard, who's the amazing director, of kind of his vision and what he wants to achieve with it. I just think it's going to be so good.
It is. Now, this week coming up, we should be finalising the cast. Obviously, we've got Benedict as Hamlet.
Yep.
And wow, you see his poster around town. Doesn't he look like Hamlet?
Yeah.
I mean, the first time we saw him, we just looked, he's got that sort of gaunt look about him. He just looks like a Hamlet. And we saw his face. That's why all around the town, all the posters and all the marketing is based around this haunted look on his face, because he's such a brilliant actor and he's so strong. So yes, we were hoping to have the rest of the cast announced this week. And the big thing about it is that I'm looking forward to is there's going to be a lot of Stafford people hopefully in it, or Staffordshire people in it, and it's going to have that more sort of community Stafford feel to it, I think, that maybe we've gone away from in the past couple of years. So that's going to be exciting. We had a meeting last week with Richard Cheshire from Staffordshire University, again, Staffordshire guy, who is the director of it. First time he's done directing of Stafford Shakespeare. He has directed Shakespeare before. He's directed stuff all over the world.
He directs our panto.
And he directs the panto.
Yep.
He does all sorts of things. So if you've come to the panto, you've seen how good they are. Richard directs them. But of course, when you're a director like that, a good theatre director, you can turn your hand to anything, can't
Absolutely.
you? I think Shakespeare is, again, one of his fortes. And he's just such a lovely, lovely man.
Yeah, really nice.
He's just a dream to work with. So everybody here is looking forward to that. We're doing a few things with schools as well this year.
Yeah.
So if you're a teacher looking at this, or a school governor, and you'd like to get involved with the Gatehouse, we can do site visits, we can have you in, we can get you to meet the cast. It's great for drama students, especially, so we're working with Blessed William Howard High School, for example, because that's Benedict's old school.
Aww.
Yeah, so they're loving the fact that, they've gone from having one of their old pupils, he's gone on to have a great career, professional actor in the West End, and he's been on tour nationally, he's been on TV and like Boat Story, Emmerdale, The Syndicate, he's done all these things. And he's a local guy, grew up in Rowley Park. So he's a great role model. If you've got dreams in Stafford, you're thinking, what happened to
and he was in our youth
person
theatre
from Stafford? He started off in the Gatehouse Youth Theatre, and now he's leading the Shakespeare cast, and he's doing stuff on TV. It's a brilliant story. So if you're a school and you want to get involved, just drop us a line. We're doing all sorts of things. Obviously, we'll do school rates for the performances.
We've got school-specific performances,
We
haven't
do
we?
have 2 specific school performances. I think the one is getting close to selling out, which again is a big thing. The other one, we're waiting on a couple of groups to come in. So yeah, if you're interested, contact us sooner rather than later, because I think it's on the curriculum.
Yeah.
So when I was at school, I don't know about you, when I was at school, my God, I went to the classic bog standard comp, right? This was in the 80s, and it was like you read Shakespeare from a book and you couldn't follow it. Nobody knew what was going on. They never took you to see it, right? So it's only later on when you start going to see it live, and it's a completely different experience, isn't it? And I think
we were lucky we got to go and see it. We studied the Scottish play, and I did English literature A level, so we went to see a couple of Shakespeare's. So I was super lucky.
See anybody big?
I mean, not then, but I did see Lenny Henry as Othello.
Wow.
And I have seen David Tennant as Hamlet, which was amazing.
Now.
Well, I went to the RSC. They were brilliant.
Oh, RSC. I saw Roland Gift of the Fine Young Cannibals playing Romeo in Romeo and Juliet. Don't laugh at that. He's big. Roland Gift of the Fine Young Cannibals.
I don't know who he is.
You don't know who Roland Gift is of the Fine Young Cannibals?
No.
You know who the Fine Young Cannibals are?
I mean, I couldn't name anything they've done, but I've heard of them.
Wow, you drive me crazy.
That's a Shakin' Stevens song.
No, she drives me crazy. Anyway, so I just think that if kids come to see Shakespeare, they'll get hooked on it.
Yeah.
And if I was taking my exams and I came to see it, I'd understand it a lot more. So what I'm saying is, if you're taking your exams or whatever, I've worked with the teachers, say, can we go and see it at the Gatehouse? Because I think this will be a good thing. Or just come along yourself. It'd be great. We're also working with St Mary's Church. You know, they've got their St Mary's Church Festival on every year. So we're going to be doing things with them. We're going to get somebody from the cast, hopefully, or the producer or the director, to go down and do a Q&A with them at one of their events. We're working on an arts project with artists around the town. So we're going to hopefully have an art exhibition here that is being done by local artists or local school children, again, to try and make it a bit more inclusive for the children to get involved. Sales are going very well, and that's an understatement. Let's put it this way, sales are way up on where we were this time last year, and so that fills us with, great confidence that this is going to be a brilliant show. Everybody knows it's going to be a brilliant show because we've got 30 years of brilliant shows behind us. The ones we've done at the Gatehouse have been fantastic as well. So everybody knows, I think it's great. And everybody I speak to is excited about this. Yeah. People are buying their tickets early because they're excited. And there are fewer performances this year, so we've narrowed it down. And I think that you can feel the buzz around the town. We've got the artwork up now. The big window looks amazing at the Gatehouse. It's on the town entry signs. It's here, there, and everywhere. So it's starting to get a lot more visible. So, get your tickets in early because it's going to be a fantastic show, and everybody's massively looking forward to it. Something else that people are excited about.
We're going to do the big reveal.
Big reveal. Yeah. This year's summer school is. I'm relying on the people who do the sound and stuff here to make this look amazing. Ready? Chitty, chitty, bang, bang. Amazing. Such
a good show. We're all very, very excited.
We can't believe this. I mean, to get the rights for Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, following on from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory last year, that set the bar high. This is going to go even higher. Literally, the car's going to fly through the auditorium, right?
Be careful what you tell people.
Well, I mean, that's what it does in the film. Do you want some fun facts about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Always.
Well, not about the show, because the musical is slightly different, isn't it, to what it is. You're going to tell us about the theatre. Yeah. Because you've seen it.
A lot.
And you've got a friend who's been in it. Yeah,
my friend did both tours, and he covered playing Karaticus, the main character. He was amazing, so we played all different roles. So I went to see him 2 or 3 different venues all over the country. So it's just such a fun show. The costumes, the dances, the song. There's some beautiful songs in it. We were just saying earlier, Hushabye Mountains, one that's a really lovely song. Doll on a Music Box. Me Old Bamboo, there's a great dance routine, hopefully, that'll go with that. Yeah. So there's loads. It's just such a
Truly Scrumptious is the one I remember. They still do that in the musical.
Yeah.
So they do all the songs almost from the film in the music. It's not one of these where the musical is completely different.
It's pretty much the same story. There's a few extra songs in it, but it's most of the songs in the film, if not all, are in it as well.
Wow, that's brilliant. Now then, fun fact. Who wrote Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Without looking, I don't know, but you're going to tell me.
Ian Fleming... This is a great trivia question. This Ian Fleming, who wrote the James Bond novels.
Oh, there you go.
That's massive, isn't it?
I'd rather watch Chitty than James Bond.
Can't beat a bit of James.
Never
Bond.
seen one.
The only spooky thing about Chitty, and it is a bit spooky when you think, like Roald Dahl was involved in the screenplay for the film as well. So this all starts to make sense all of a sudden, right? And you see the child snatcher.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be a tough gig, isn't it, for somebody to play a child snatcher?
It's really creepy, really.
That scene is going to be.
The last one I saw was H from Steps, and he was really creepy. Brilliant, creepy.
H from Steps, come on.
He was amazing. He was so creepy. I wasn't expecting it because he's so bubbly and fun, but he was creepy.
I did once speak to H from Steps. Do you know what he said to me?
No.
Do you want fries with that? It's a tragedy. Anyway. Don't worry, he's going to edit all this out, so he's shaking his head behind there, so that's not going to go in, so I can say what I like. H, if you're watching, mate, hope you're well. Anyway, so that's summer school. If you want to take part, applications are in now. We got the auditions, I think it's May the 11th.
May the 11th,
May the 11th for the auditions. The project runs from August the 4th to August the 23rd, with the shows themselves on the Friday and the Saturday, with one on the Friday night, and then a matinee on the Saturday afternoon, and then one on the Saturday night as well. Mine last year with Charlie, it was so big. They all sold out, didn't they, within a day. And so we had to put an extra show on the Thursday. So again, advice is if you're going to come along, I think the tickets might not be free this year, but there might be a very small charge.
Yeah, there'll be a low price.
Very small charge just to cover the cost, because we've got to get everything set up for it. More importantly, if you want to take part, the summer school is a big thing, and my kids did it back in the day. And it's great. You sort of come in bang up fresh from never having any theatre experience at all to suddenly, within 2 or 3 weeks, you see this transformation of the kids from the first day when everybody's a bit nervous and, to the end when they are just naturally on stage. And I think that's an incredible thing for them to see.
Yeah, it's great. And especially summer holidays, sometimes it can get a bit boring when you have 6 weeks off. So to spend 3 or 4 of them here with other people that, similar to you, love performing and putting on a show from start to finish, and you get to see the set, get to work with the amazing techies that we've got here, Charlotte, who's our head chaperone. They just have the best time.
Something else that's coming up next month, it's going to be amazing. It's the first Stafford Gatehouse Youth Theatre production of the year, The Wardrobe.
The Wardrobe.
Do you know anything about The Wardrobe?
I know a little bit about The Wardrobe.
What do you know?
I know that it's nothing to do with Narnia, as we first thought, and it is to do with history and children going off that were sent off to war to go and stay with different people, I believe. It is,
and what's interesting about it is it spans 7 centuries.
Wow.
So it goes through really telling the history of Britain through, and over these 7 centuries, different groups of children hide out in the same wardrobe.
Oh, okay.
It's nothing to do with Narnia.
Nothing to do with Narnia,
In case you were thinking it was a Narnia
that's
thing.
what I was originally
it's nothing
thinking.
to do with that. So I think that'll be really interesting.
Yeah.
That is on March the 14th and 15th in the Met.
Yeah.
And again, I've seen the rehearsals for this so far, and the kids are brilliant.
They are brilliant.
The kids are brilliant. The set looks brilliant. And I'm sure that some of these Gatehouse Youth Theatre people in years to come, you will see on bigger productions on the West End or on TV or whatever, because the talent there is incredible.
I popped in and saw a little bit of them rehearsing Frozen, one of the girls that I saw, who's Elsa, I saw her sing a bit of Let It Go. She was amazing.
Well, they've got The Wardrobe, they've got Frozen Junior, which would be amazing. They've got Beauty and the Beast.
My favourite.
And get this as well. Again, you might be too young to remember this. They got Carrie Jr.
No, I've
Do you remember
seen
the film
Carrie.
Carrie?
Yeah,
Sissy Spacek.
Yeah.
And the blood and everything like that. That's going to be spectacular. I'm hearing such amazing things about what they're going to do with that. That is going to be an amazing show. So, come along and support the Youth Theatre. Or if you want to get involved, just drop us a line.
Yep.
And again, they're always looking for new members. Come along, have fun. Just let yourselves out. Other shows coming up.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday, on February the 12th, Tom Stade, Risky Business. Tom Stade is a brilliant Canadian comedian.
Oh, okay.
Right? And he did spend a bit of time, I think, living in Wolverhampton, which shows he's got a sense of humour, if nothing else. And he's on February the 12th, 8 o'clock start, superb comedian. On Valentine's night, February the 14th, the Glam Rock Show. Also that night, I think it's sold out. We've got comedy in the Met downstairs as well. If ever you want to see a brilliant comedy show, come to one of our Comedy in the Met shows. They're superb, but they always sell out.
They do.
So you need to get in quickly. Following on from that, on the Saturday, we've got a show called Murder Staged. Yeah. This is fascinating. It's all about how they investigate murders. If ever you've looked at things and wondered about forensics, if you like CSI, all those types of shows, this is a real event showing you the tactics and the procedures that they use to try and track down. And it's a fascinating show. It's really good. Milton Jones. Do you love Milton Jones? Sold out on the Sunday. However, I can reveal we're very close to bringing Milton Jones back.
Oh, amazing.
Maybe later in the year, maybe into next year, because A, he's such a brilliant comic. Yeah. B, he's such a lovely guy. And C, he's one of these guys who's got so many jokes, it won't be the same show twice. But I've seen him myself a couple of times, and it's never the same show twice, because I've seen him interviewed, and he says he just goes with the flow on the night.
Yeah.
And how he remembers so many jokes, I do not know. He must be in like the Book of Records for telling so many jokes in 1 hour or something like that. You know, I'm in the opposite. No jokes in an hour. And then after that, Woman Like Me, Little Mix.
Yeah.
You love Little Mix, bit of Black Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all those other Little Mix hits.
They were here last year.
They were here last year.
And the
It's a
kids
great
just
show.
go absolutely
the kids
nuts.
Love it.
Yeah, and they do a big meet and greet afterwards as well.
Yeah, it's a fantastic show. Woman Like Me, the Little Mix show, that's a good one. And then something different next week as well. Mega Slam Wrestling. Are you a wrestling fan?
I'm not a wrestling fan, but when I worked on the holiday parks, I used to host the wrestling. So we had the big wrestling ring.
Host the wrestling?
We had a big wrestling ring in the middle of the dance floor, and we had the wrestlers used to come in, and then I used to have to do all the shouting and the cheering and getting everybody involved. And then at the end, I got to slap a couple of them and shove them over. Wow. It was great. I loved it.
It's like running the bar in the Gatehouse, basically, on a Friday night,
pretty
isn't
much.
it?
That's where I got my training.
Yeah, superb. And then speaking of criminals, on February the 20th, Fred Dinage, Ronnie, Reggie and me. Now, you're definitely too young if you were born in 79 to remember Fred Dinage. But Fred Dinage is a massive, like, kids TV
No, I do.
presenter.
I remember when I was growing up, he did do a few things.
He was in all sorts of things.
Yeah, he did a few
all sorts of things. So Fred Dinage, also back in the 60s, he had very close links, let's call it that, with the Krays.
Yeah.
So he's going to be doing this show, talking about, he interviewed Reggie and Ronnie when they were in prison. He's bringing out some tapes. I think the other week he was on the front page of the Sunday People or something like that because he revealed again something that was in one of these tapes from Ronnie Kray or Reggie Kray. So I think that's going to be a fascinating evening. Not many tickets left on that in the Met. So I think that's going to be really good. If you like great music, The Guilty Men, great guitar band. Just a proper old like guitar band. From people who've been in things like, they're almost like a touring supergroup of people who've been like 10cc and things like that. So they're really good. The Guilty Men, they're only in the Met as well on February 21st, so that'll be a nice intimate gig. And I think we're into half term then, so we've got The Little Mermaid on a couple of shows on February 21st in the auditorium, so that'll be great. And one of my favourite comedians, Josh Berry. Have you ever come across Josh Berry?
No.
Honestly, he is great. He is like, it's difficult to tell whether he's being serious or not about anything, because he's a bit of a posh boy, but he takes the mickey out of himself, and he's very, very clever and very funny. He's on in the Met, February the 22nd, 8 p.m. And then just a couple of others. Vision of Elvis, back again, our friend Rob, a superb Elvis. I know you're a big fan.
Of Elvis, yes.
Of Elvis.
My dog's called Elvis, that's
Your
how much of a fan.
Your dog is called Elvis, that's what I mean. So I know you're a huge fan.
I love Elvis.
And do you watch Britain's Got Talent?
Yes.
Did you see the Roller Boys?
Yes, I think that'll be fantastic.
That'd be incredible. I don't think we've ever had a show like this. The Roller Boys on February the 23rd, upstairs in the auditorium. It's a bit like music and magic and skills and the stuff that they can do.
I had a look on some of the, we get sent sort of kind of paperwork and things, and I was looking at their kind of set with the ramps and stuff, so I just think it's going to be amazing. It
will be, yeah. Their video, if you go on their website and have a look at their trailer, it's like, wow. You know, I don't know where they came in pre-GT, but Simon Cowell was very impressed, wasn't he? I think it was all very good. And then Nashville at Heart, that's doing really well as well, taking us through to the end of the month. So basically, we've got some fantastic shows coming up over the next couple of months. Now then, we did promise you when we started this podcast that we would have some reader questions.
Ooh, and we've got some.
We've got some reader questions.
That's nice.
Yeah. We've had loads of questions. Yes. Sorry, I am married. And so we had some questions, some genuine questions.
Yep.
For one from Dave P. I'm not going to give out people's real names on this, but Dave P. lives up in Weeping Cross, lovely part of town.
If you say so.
He says, how is the Gatehouse doing?
Great.
Tell me.
As far as I know, we're doing really well. Shows are popular, bars are always busy. We've got our lovely coffee shop that we're starting to get more and more people in, especially now the weather's, for now, turning a little bit nicer. We always seem to be busy, popular. It's great.
The answer to your question, Dave, is it's all going very well. Come on down and take in a show because, you know, I think we've got something for everybody, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
And I think that's been proven just by the shows we've just been talking about, you know, talking about wrestling, but talking about great comics, great music,
There's something for everyone here.
There's something for everybody in our programme, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
We've got the brilliant ballet coming on again later in the year.
Yeah, that'll be amazing.
Always sells out. They're amazing. So that's good. Next question. Who sets the prices? The shows, basically, aren't they? The shows...
The producers.
And the producers and the touring companies, they set the prices. So effectively what they do is they rent the Gatehouse for the night, if they're coming for one night or a longer run. And so basically they're just renting the building and the services that we do in the marketing and the box office and all the support, the technical people and all the rest of it. So they set the prices, and obviously depends sometimes. If you're doing like the ballet, where they turn up with 35, 40 dancers and a live orchestra with 20 people in it, those shows are going to be more expensive. We don't have great control over that. It's all agreed with the producers. Thanks, Sharon. And finally, Jo S. from Doxy, and she says, who are the nicest/nastiest stars to come to the Gatehouse? That's an interesting question, isn't it? People always ask me this. I don't know about you, since I started working at the Gatehouse, this is the question I get asked the most. Who's nice off stage?
Well, most people genuinely are nice. I've very rarely met anybody that's rude or that is unpleasant to work with, so I don't have any names for that, I'm afraid. I know you want us to dish the dirt, but I'm not going to. One of the nicest that I've met here recently was Jimmy Tarbuck.
Yes.
He was so lovely to myself and Emma, and when he was meeting all the fans afterwards, he just had so many nice stories, and he just had time for everyone, which is all, people are paying to come and watch them, they want to listen to them, but if you actually get to have that interaction, sometimes people forget they've followed their career, they're massive fans, and it's like quite a big moment for them to meet their kind of heroes.
Yeah.
So when they're nice and they're kind, it makes all the difference. And for us as well, when we get to meet them, they're always lovely, and, it's just nice to be nice, is my view, and most of them are. So.
I agree. And people say, you're just covering up. We're not,
no,
honestly.
We're not.
It's true what they say, the bigger the star, the nicer they are. But I haven't really had any issues with anyone. I mean, we don't get to meet them all backstage, really. No. We are in separate departments. We are, it's like upstairs, downstairs, and we're downstairs. But the ones that I have met have been lovely. Jason Manford is really nice. Do you know who's really nice? And I love him to bits, and again, it's from my era. Steve Davis, the snooker player.
Yeah.
Steve Davis. We had Steve Davis and John Virgo and Dennis Taylor, and they came last year or the year before. They're coming back this year to recreate the classic 1985 World Snooker Final, the black ball game. If you were around in those days, this was the biggest TV event of the 80s. I kid you not. This was the biggest, almost like Charles and Diana's wedding. And then it's this snooker match, Steve Davis, Dennis Taylor. The whole nation stayed up till like 1 o'clock in the morning to watch it. It came down to the black ball, and they're going to recreate that at the Gatehouse. But when they came previously, Steve Davis got lost backstage. And I was just sat in my office, just, tapping away, working away. And I heard this person come down the corridor, and I thought, who's that? So I went, who's that? And this head popped round the door. It was Steve Davis. And he went, it's me. And I thought, oh my God, Steve Davis. Anyway, he came in and had a chat, and I took him backstage and everything. He was a lovely guy, because he used to be on Spitting Image. They used to take the mickey out of him and all sorts. But he was such a lovely guy, Steve Davis. And again, he's so big, Steve Davis, to be doing stuff like this still. These guys, they don't need to do it, do they?
No, they do it because they love it.
Because they love it, and him and Dennis Taylor and John Virgo, another great snooker player, but also a really funny guy from back in the day. So yes, Jo from Doxy. We haven't got any nasty ones for you, I'm afraid. Everybody's really nice. That's the beauty of working in the theatre. I also find that the people who put this podcast together are really nice. But we'll sort of hang on to that and see how they edit it this week, and see whether we sound good, whether we look good, whether we've got chins, like chins galore. And if so, we'd like to thank the lovely Adam Martin and the lovely Jenny Evershed for their help with recording this. And they are amazing people. You're amazing.
So are you.
You're amazing for sitting through this and getting to the end. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you back at the Gatehouse soon.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.